AIO for wanting to divorce my wife based on her behavior while I was sick. In November, I was hospitalized for 8 days due to a severe sinus infection. During this time, I realized my wife doesn't really care about me. It all started in October while we were at a restaurant. I felt dizzy, nauseous, and like I was about to collapse, with my heart rate spiking to 150. I'm a fit, athletic man. We went to the hospital, where they ran the usual tests and told me it was just a panic attack, something I'd never experienced before. Over the next 2 weeks, I ended up in the hospital 2 more times. Each time, my wife seemed annoyed, like I was just overreacting, and the doctors insisted it was still panic attacks. Then, a fever developed. I hesitated to mention it because I was afraid of being dismissed as dramatic. But when the fever worsened, I finally went to the hospital, and this time they started taking me seriously. They admitted me, but couldn't figure out what was wrong. After 2 days on antibiotics and still no answers, they sent me home. When the fever came back, I felt awful. My wife still wasn't taking me seriously, insisting it was just panic attacks. It wasn't until the fever persisted for almost a week that they finally did a full body scan and discovered I had a severe sinus infection. The infection was so bad because the doctors initially wasted time diagnosing me with panic attacks instead of looking for the real issue. I'm paying a fortune for private healthcare, and I expected to be taken seriously. It took weeks to recover from the negligence. I thought my wife would be more concerned, but her behavior made me realize I need to get away from her. Every time I needed to go to the hospital, she was irritated and acted like it was a burden to drive me. Even after the infection was diagnosed, she kept insisting it was just panic attacks. Asking her to drive me felt like a huge ordeal. They advised me to get surgery to prevent future infections, which I had on the 21st. I was told to monitor my symptoms and go to the hospital if I felt off. Over the past 2 days, I've had pain in my face, and last night, the symptoms worsened. I asked her to drive me to the hospital, but she stomped around angrily. When I questioned her, she had no answer. She seems to be convinced I'm just some drama queen who is having panic attacks despite everything. She eventually drove me, and the doctor confirmed I had a small infection starting in my surgery area. I was right again. To be honest, I want to divorce her. If I thought she was in danger, I would do anything for her, but her cold, indifferent behavior while I was sick has made me question everything. Am I overreacting? I am 29 years old. She's 28.